Are we listening?
Yeah. Hello, witches.
Hey, witches.
We've got Happy New Year, Happy New Moon, same us, new goals.
I'm Kat.
And I'm Jamie. And we are starting our 2024 off in a totally new mindset. And we are, well, maybe not new mindset, but like new goals for sure. That's the best way to describe it. And so this new moon in Capricorn really is the energy of what we started doing within the last week or so, you think?
Yeah.
The last week or so.
It's funny how that works that way.
It does.
When you just start doing things and then all of a sudden you realize, oh, the energy is supporting that. No wonder I'm driven.
Yeah.
No wonder
aligned with that.
No wonder we're aligned with that.
Yes. So good evening. And we tried to do this yesterday, but all of a sudden a massive storm came through and our power started flickering. And I just thought that would be terrible to get halfway through.
It was crazy weather, like hurricane weather.
It was weird.
I was worried
about
Put out
a bunch of like emergency alerts for northern Florida and stuff. So, but we made it through. Never did truly lose power. And we just worked last night till later instead of getting on this live. So we hope that wherever you were, if you went through the storms also, that everything turned out okay. And I don't watch the news, so I wouldn't know if something happened anywhere. My mom
Something
has to tell
happened
me.
everywhere.
Yeah.
Like there was severe weather all over the
All
country.
over.
So hopefully you're
I
safe
saw
wherever
the whole
you
thing
are.
coming in. Yeah.
And
yes. Well, and tonight we're really going to talk about the energies of new moon. We want to give you a few things to do, but also we're going to give you basically the script to figure out your own thing to do for this new moon, for any moon phase that you're really looking at. And it's basically this thing plus this thing equals, here's how we put that together. And we're going to just try to make it really easy for you because our ultimate goal is to help you build your practice, not tell you how to practice. Like that's a big part of what we're trying to provide for our community.
yeah, there's plenty of knowledge out there, but there's some things in all of that knowledge. I feel like there's some basics that are missing.
Yeah. Well,
like when you get a spell, you can buy a spell, you can do somebody else's spell, and they tell you set your intentions. But what does that actually look like, and what does that mean?
Yeah.
So I think that's our focus, is to help you as a new witch to understand what that means and what that looks like in practice, what that looks like.
I think it's a good time to go through that because even when we're looking at new moon, some people say at new moon, you can set your intentions and, you can start making your plans, but I like to relate it to putting a seed in the ground. Our intentions are that seed in the ground where there's really no action. It's not a lot of stuff happening on the surface, but when you're setting your own intention, you're just aligning yourself with something that feels true for you. So instead of looking for something online that feels like, oh yeah, I could do that, that seems easy enough, it's more like what is it? What is the energy that I need to pull towards myself over the next 2 weeks to 6 months? Because there's different lengths of time that we can set how long you want to run with that intention, which is also, I didn't write that down, but what did you call that earlier? Recourse. Was it? Kat said something really good earlier, like a word that I wanted to make sure that we said it and I didn't write down.
Was it not feeding your spells?
No, like when you do a course correction.
Course correction.
So here's another thing nobody ever says. Even once you set your intentions, say you set your intentions, then, a week later you start doing little actions towards that and you've set your goals for it and what it looks like. You could get halfway through this process and realize, oh, you know what? That is not actually, like, you figured out that that's not where you need to be aligned. And you need to do this course correction and shift it a little bit and restart it. And so we have those opportunities to course correct every time a new moon comes up. So when you associate words with a new moon, it's things like new beginnings.
You might start a new project.
New projects.
New
course
projects,
corrections. Reevaluating where you're going.
Initiating a life change. Initiation, that's the very beginning of something. So I think what was interesting for me in reading up on Capricorn new moon energy is that Capricorn is actually, the sign of Capricorn people have some things in common. Like they're in it, they work really, really hard.
Yeah.
They're very hard workers. They keep their nose to the grindstone, and they're willing to work for a very long time to get what they want. And usually that's what they do. And so I feel like the energy in the Capricorn new moon supports that. So usually I think on a new moon, we're like, what do I want to get accomplished in it? What would I like to change or bring into my life or manifest for the next month? But with Capricorn new moon, this is a long-term thing. This is something like, this is where you start, to me anyway. And again, this is all like do what feels
with like a new year thing, right?
It does line up with a new year, and it's actually so perfect that we're close to the middle of the month now, because I wrote a blog post on Solitary Witch Society about why New Year's resolutions don't work, why they fail, and what we can do instead, and how it impacts us as witches. And it's because at the very beginning of the year, that energy around, everything's so quiet, but this new moon in Capricorn actually supports us planning some kind of long-term goal for ourselves. So whether that's, losing 20 pounds in the next 6 months, or starting a business this summer, or going on or anything, just anything like that. This is the time. This is the planning time, and it's the dark time. So it's like perfect for being indoors and like concentrating and spending time and journaling about and thinking about and focusing on
defining it, like honing in on it is what I really think. When we're in that space, the journaling time is usually, when I think of journaling, I think of reflection. That's why I just want to say, you journal about the honing in, write down the thing that you want. Like, what will it do for your life? What does that look like? What are, an outcome, making it an outcome-based thing, something that you can realistically achieve or measure. They have the things, SMART goals, where you just, what you're actually working towards. And it's not this like frivolous thing, like, oh, I want to get in better shape. Define better shape, so when we give it more definition and we hone in on what we're actually looking for,
it's like, I want to get back into my size 14 pants by summer.
Right.
That's a very specific,
measurable.
That's a very specific goal.
Yeah.
It's got a
defined time.
It's got a defined time, and it's got a defined end
outcome.
thing. Yeah. The outcome.
Yeah. So
now what I do to make that happen.
That's where the planning and like, okay, here's the little things that I can change.
And you have something on your list that you think is a really, you want to talk about vision boards?
Okay, I love vision boards.
Because this is a time, again, we're inside, it's dark, it's after Christmas, you can be creative. So vision board's like perfect time for a vision board, beginning of the year.
It lines up with the Capricorn's energy of being goal-oriented and kind of trying to create that structure for you. So a vision board is meant to inspire you every day to stick with that goal. It's a reminder. And for me, vision boards remind me of a spell a lot, because after I do a spell, whether it's like in a jar, in a little bag, or wherever I do it, I have the thing left over from it. And every time I look at it, we call it feeding your spell. You put energy into it again, you say something to it, like, that you're working on that thing that you were looking for. Vision boards work the same way, in my opinion. They center your energy in on the thing that you're really looking for. And it's like, oh, I can see it. And it's a visual representation or inspiration of what you're trying to achieve during this time. So I love that with Capricorn new moons, I usually try to redo my vision board if I have the energy for it. And if I don't, I plan out like what little changes I want to see in my life. So I didn't do a vision board last year, but I did one the year before that. And
I remember.
I still love it.
It's
my screensaver on my phone. So I not only made a vision board physically, but then I took a picture of it and put it on my phone as like, it's my vision board on my phone is my screensaver. Because I find them very inspiring. And I put words with mine and stuff that really lead me back into that energy of what I was sort of honing in on.
And from what the other thing that vision boards do is they help you visualize the outcome that you want, which is a very important part of doing a spell, is being able to visualize. Like, if you can see yourself in that new Maserati or in those size 8.
I don't even know what a Maserati looks like.
I don't either. I just threw that out there.
Because it's a Taylor Swift song.
Is it?
Yes.
I didn't even know that.
Subconsciously, it's just seeping up.
Yeah. But if you can visualize yourself, when you can visualize yourself with the things that you want, those things are drawn to you like a magnet. We're like magnets with our energy. Whether we're thinking about good things or bad things, whatever we're thinking about, we're like magnets drawing that to us. So vision boards.
Vision boards is what
really like.
That's what I love. So now's a good time to tell I have like a formula, and this is not to like boast on the Instagram thing, but that's just where I posted it because it's the easiest platform for that. It's like a little short thing or what reel. It's a reel. Not good at Instagram, you guys. So don't, if you go there and you see it, don't like look at everything and expect something big. No, that's not. You're not getting that. I don't have that.
That'll be next year.
Maybe, yeah, we'll see. But I wanted to get this formula out to people so that you can define like what it is about the Capricorn and the new moon, those two things together for you. So what about, say you can do this now with us. You're like, oh, okay, I know what Capricorn new moon is about. And then in 6 months, we get to the Capricorn full moon. You're like, oh, well, what do I do about that? Is this like the opposite energy? How do I figure this out? So we're going to be posting this every month for all of the moons to help you learn to create your own outcome, goal, or like desire within these moons. So it looks like this. You have the energy of the moon, whatever phase it's in, because you can do it at any of the 8 phases. But say we're at new moon. Then you have, I put a little plus sign. Then you have the energy of the zodiac sign that the moon is in. So right now it's in Capricorn. And all you would do is like with words, basically add them together. So under new moon, you would put new beginnings, recourse of something. Like there's all these words associated with new moon or all these energies associated with the new moon. Just list out like 5. Then over here on this side, what are the energies of Capricorn? Like what does Capricorn represent? What are Capricorns known for? And you're basically just playing like word match. So create new routines, create new goals, build a vision board, whatever it is, it's that thing, that little plus this equals whatever the thing is that will help you right now. Because you're going to find, like I said, there's so much information out there on what you should do during the new moon. But to make something for yourself is to be able to find a resource that goes, okay, I know I want to do something for this new moon. How do I decide that? Is it by looking up what other people have done? Is it looking up, what the person I follow is doing? And they're saying, oh, it's the time of year to just create a vision board. That's just my thing. But if you build that little column of like new moon energies and then Capricorn energies, and then just match them like a game, like when you're in school. What was that? I don't remember what the game was for.
It was like
not matching words, but what words go together or something.
What sentences belong together or subjects belong
something
together.
Like that.
Yeah.
And basically, because this is Capricorn and new moon, you'll be able to do this for any of the new moons or any of the full moons once you have this little, I called it a cosmic playbook, because I'm like, basically, these are the skills we want that we don't know how to get because nobody explains it like that. So I'm hoping that this explanation right now allows you to move forward with building your own routine for each of the moons. We'll always be here to help inspire you and tell you what we do, but that way you can do it for yourself and find the things that really match up with like what's going on in your life at the moment.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So my next question, I think would be the obvious question would be, how do you know the energy surrounding a particular new moon? Where do you find that information? So it's Capricorn. So the Capricorns, the people, if you know any Capricorns, the sea goats, right?
The sea goats.
The sea goats, the sea goat people. They,
I love this. It's getting better.
I was married to one. Okay.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Chuck was Chuck was a Capricorn, and he was a very hard worker. He was also really stern and unyielding. So maybe you can use that stern or that unyielding energy to get something that you really want.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. That may be one of the energies, but there are qualities, if you will, that are associated with each of the signs. And that's where that's how you find like, what's the energy?
Words,
that's how you find what the energy is around, the
zodiac sign.
You find what that basically like 5 words that describe a Capricorn person.
And we should probably put a resources list out there somewhere, like who do we like to use? Who do we trust? Where do I find the best information? We have a couple of astrology sites that we like. We really like Molly McCord. She's on our YouTube channel as far as channels that we suggest. We also suggest. Yeah, we follow and suggest. But it's an internet search. And I truly believe that when we are seeking answers, the universe puts it in front of us what we're really looking for.
Mm-hmm.
So you do not need to follow anybody else's thing. You can do a search for yourself and you'll know at least I do, when things pop up and I'm like, no, I'm like reading, I was like, yes, like one always just feels right, just sounds like me, uses words
It
I might
resonates
use.
with you. Yeah. You connect
definitely
with it.
does.
You
And then I
connect
go
with
on
it.
there and read it and I'm like, okay, yeah. So then I don't want to make it too complicated. I do not choose more than 5 words because signs are complex. Each of us, you can't define us in, 5 words, but you can at least get the overarching theme of what this represents. And you only have to do this if you're looking for something to do, if you're looking for change. None of this is like has to, should be doing. Your honoring of the new moon or any moon phase can literally just be sitting outside, sitting in the daylight, because in new moon, the moon is actually in front of the sun and following it through the sky, which is why we don't see it at night. So the moon and the sun are rising and setting at the same time in the sky. That's what new moon truly is. So if you wanted to be under the moon's energy, you would be under the sun's energy, which is why sun energy is about fire and starting things. That's why new moon is about fire, starting things, getting projects going.
We're making connections. I love all the little dots, how they connect.
So
we could play connect the dot. Maybe that's what that one game was.
Yeah, connect the dots with words.
Connect
Make
the
a sentence out of these things. I forgot where I was going now.
The energies. You were talking about how the moon
and where to find it and where to find it.
Where to find stuff.
Do an internet search. Your guides, your angels, your spirit people will lead you to a place that is right for you, that can help you, forward on that path. That's all I can say about it, because it's different for everybody.
Yeah,
it should
and
be.
you know what? And if nothing comes to you, that's okay. It may just
you can let it go. That's where I was going with it. You don't have to do
it's okay. You don't have to do a single thing for new moon. Not anything.
I think when Kat was talking earlier before we got on the call, that we were looking at, when you do a course correction, sometimes you have goals you're working on and you can course correct with them or redefine them or make them better. There doesn't always have to be a brand new thing at new moon. You can approach something in a new way. You can try to look at it in a new way. Say, can I do this a little bit better? So you can start honing and redefining goals that you're already working on and looking at things that, okay, here's the 10 things that I do daily for this one goal or whatever. How many of those things are working? And should I try to switch it up? This would be a good time to switch it up. Is during the new moon time. So it's not that you have to create an entirely new goal either. Just
look at the goal. Look at what the goals you already have, and is there a way for you to? Do they need improving? Yeah. Can you improve them? Mm-hmm. Have you started to slack on some of them? And kind of like, oh gosh, I had this really big plan, and it kind of just life got in the way. Maybe you can come back and revisit that and give it some more energy, and
if it's the right time.
If it's the right time.
I think did we do a recap video yet? We have not posted our recap video yet, or we did. I can't remember.
I don't think we did.
Gosh. See, last year was crazy, and we know that we want to do a recap of how everything got away from us. And there wasn't time for us to do these things. And don't beat yourself up about it. I try not to beat myself up about it when my practice isn't where I want it to be. It's like, I have to make an adjustment. And so now with this new part, it's like, this is the time where I was sort of waiting for. It's like, okay, at this event, the new moon in Capricorn, I know that I'm going to start making things and figuring things out and like getting my mind where it needs to be.
Well, and about a week ago, we sat down and did this, didn't we?
We did.
I'm always off a little bit but I'm always off a little bit anyway, but I'm always off a little bit.
And we all still love you. It's okay.
I'm always off a little bit with the energies. Like if it's supposed to be whatever's happening on a certain day astrologically, I'm like, it happens to me like 3 days before that or 3 days after that. It's never on time. I'm never
She's never on time.
Yeah. I don't know what that is. It's got to be something. There's got to be something in my chart, that's like, yeah, you're always like hanging out doing something else when you're supposed to be doing this, or you're feeling things way ahead of when they're at, before. Usually it's before. I'm experiencing these energies before before everybody else says, yeah, this is, like right about this day. I'm like, that happened a week ago. So,
went through it already. So she's just living faster than the rest of us. She's sped up.
But I'm staying
world.
So young. That's because I'm an old soul and I've lived many times. So I'm being efficient in this life.
There you go. Yeah, I love it. Efficient living.
Super efficient.
I hope you're passing that on to me.
I think so.
Okay,
yeah.
Good.
No.
I hope so.
Because she's a Pisces. They don't work the same way. So
I'm over here living in dreamland. That's what
we just had that conversation too about Pisces and they're kind of like.
Yes, go on. I'm waiting for her to talk a little smack. Prices are a little what?
Well, they're just in their heads in the clouds, They're like they take a long time. Okay,
take a long time.
So wait. First, let me back up. I was with a Pisces for like almost 20 years, and I can tell you he drove me crazy because I'm quick to make a decision. I know right away, and he would need to process it for 2 weeks, and for the 2 weeks I would be seething, waiting for a decision, and he's just going about his business like it's nothing. I'm like, if I don't get an answer on this, I'm going to lose my mind. Really, so it's the different energies of those two signs. So
okay, I do get that. Yes.
That's what we were talking about. But.
She's a lot quicker because she's a Scorpio, and I move a little slower and go with the flow for a little while before I decide to do something. That might be true a little bit.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. All right. I accept that. That's an irrelevant smack talk.
I'm not throwing shade really at anybody, but myself probably, because I've had to learn to be patient. That relationship taught me that I needed to learn a lot of patience. I didn't really have much at all. So
I always say that to my husband that, he says he lacks patience. And I said, then the universe is going to give you more opportunities to practice it. And it does. And I just giggle at it because I'm a pretty patient person. So I can see it instantly. For him, it's like 10 seconds is it. And then he's like, he starts huffing and puffing, like waiting.
No, he does this. He does something.
Yeah. He lets people know that he's upset.
What is that?
I don't know. I don't know what that's doing.
That's the universe. Like the universe is like, hey, I'm here.
What is that?
I don't have any idea. There's something on our screen
that's
like
thing on my screen.
You guys should see it. It's wild.
Oh, okay. It went away. I clicked it because I don't know what it's doing.
Okay.
Hopefully this was all still going. Okay.
Are we live? Are we still here? Can you see
everybody
us?
Still hear us and see us?
I think so. Nobody's like, where'd you go?
Yeah, I don't. That's so weird.
Okay, well, we're having this little break.
Look, it stopped.
What?
Oh no, it just caught up.
What?
The time wasn't going. No, I don't know.
Okay, there we go.
It's universe retrograde, you guys. I'll tell you.
Are we a retrograde?
Universe. Uranus retrograde is what
Uranus retrograde.
Yeah.
Okay.
Technologies and stuff get messed up, and you have undefined financial weird things that pop up and all kinds of crazy stuff.
Well, that is interesting because the countdown is slow.
It's like skipping.
It's skipping, yeah. So hopefully we're not skipping.
Well, we should probably then wrap this up with, we hope you found this helpful for something to do during new moon, or to understand that you don't have to do anything at all. And that now you have a formula for figuring out what you can do for yourself, and you don't have to ask anybody else or watch anything or show up anywhere. You can just be like, I'm on my own with this and I've got it.
Yeah. And remember where Jamie said you could find that, in case you didn't write it down. She made a little reel.
Yeah, it's a little reel on Instagram.
The new Witch Academy of Modern Magic Instagram page. Yeah. So if you're not already following us,
it's don't go there expecting
go there.
A lot. I'm just saying.
Go there and follow that, because this year we have goals Jamie has goals to really give that
face
some
my
love.
Fears.
Give that some love and learn it.
Yeah, learn Instagram and be able to post things there that are useful. So.
I do, before we want to go, just say hello to those of you who are with us.
Yes.
Hello, Mitzi. And Carmel.
Yes.
And Mitzi and Carmel.
Yes. Thank you for joining us tonight.
Thank you so much for joining us.
Notice.
Yeah, thank you for joining us.
We'll be better at posting our lives, and so you guys can plan and know when they're happening and all of that.
Well, we would have been here last night, but storms, a storm that Jamie lives about 6 or 7 miles from me.
Yeah, 7.5.
Yeah, and she was not going to drive down here, and it was crazy weather. It was literally like black outside.
And I didn't look at the weather. We've had just kind of calm weather. I was going to say it's Florida. No, that's exactly what it's like. 3 o'clock, it's sunny, it's beautiful. 3:15,
Nonica's here too.
Hi, Nonica. Yeah, Florida's crazy weather. So it came out of nowhere. And then I was like, I did not look that up at all. I didn't look up the weather to see if I could drive or not drive. I don't usually have to do that, but thank you for being patient with us and joining us tonight.
And if you do something for new moon for this new moon with the Capricorn energy and the new moon energy, share it with us if you want in the comments of this live or somewhere else.
Yeah. anywhere else. We're hoping that with this community, we're all learning from each other, right? I've learned from our community. You guys give me ideas all the time, and that's what this is about, is connecting to each other, sharing ideas, sharing things, resources, because it's not always fun to learn it from a book or just read it online. It's better when you know that there's a real person behind the words that are coming out. And, you know, I think it feels better. It feels like a community, rather than a book. A book is fun and nice, but it's not a community.
I love books.
Yeah.
I have so many.
We have so many books. We're book hoarders. Yes.
Selena, sorry, we're getting ready to sign off. We're sorry you got here late.
Yeah.
But
Mitzi got hit by the storm too. Yeah. Craziness. But I always try to remember that, like, with the way that the weather patterns move, it's always washing something away, you know, like whatever it is. I imagine that something needs to be cleansed, and this storm is coming through to kind of break up some stuff or keep people at home so that they can figure things out or whatever it is. I always try to give it purpose. And go outside. I don't know if you guys know this, but when it's raining, when water's moving like that, it creates negative ions in the air, and it literally makes your brain happy. So,
well, you know what?
Okay,
water. So I have to share this, since you mentioned that about the rain. Like two days ago, I think, maybe 3 days ago, I went out to walk Tank, my little dog, early in the morning, like I always do. And the wind was blowing like crazy. Like the clouds were like moving really fast. And it was just like, I remember reading something one time about using the wind energy for spells or change or something. I was like, so what was it that I read? I know about like doing lightning water, making lightning water when it's lightning, storm water. I've made storm water. I've made storm tea. We collected the water in a storm with the lightning and all of that stuff. But I forgot what it was about the wind, but the wind was it was magical. I was just like, this is so cool. So I just, breathed it all in and just smiled as I walked my dog, and the wind just blew crazy, and the clouds were going so fast across in the sky. It was really lovely. It was really beautiful. So
Monica said that's why we need to, remove our shoes and jump in like we're kids. I still do that. I go stand in the rain. My husband knows it. If it's raining, that's where he's going to find me, is like sitting outside or walking through it. If it's not if there's lightning, I go inside, because I'm mostly intelligent when it comes to not putting myself in danger just to feel good. But I have to go out there when it's raining. I love the smell of it, the way it feels. And it does remind me of being a kid. My sister and I used to go out and collect worms in the rain that were drowning in puddles. And my mom would get very upset with us. She'd come
I would come home from work, and they would be splashing around in the puddles and out in the rain. And
back then I didn't pay attention whether it was thundering. I don't know if it was. I just knew I needed to save worms and, play in the rain. That was like my whole goal. I loved rainy days. Still like them a lot. And then when the sun comes out and everything's like fresh and green and rinsed off, it's like, it just feels great. Everybody's happy. At least in Florida, because it's hot here and we need rain all the time.
We need rain, and we need a lot of rain to refill our aquifers, which are pretty dry because
4 years of low rainfall.
Because of the low rain. So the aquifers are aquifers.
Yeah.
That's where we get the water for our well pumps and all kinds of other things. So it's really important.
We need it.
Yeah,
we need it to be recycled back through.
Yeah.
We got way off from the new moon stuff.
Way off from new moon.
Water is like a cleansing source too, and then the wind thing for you.
Yeah.
All the ways that you want to feel or celebrate a phase that comes through, just do it. Just feel it. You don't need to listen to anything else.
I think anytime as a witch, anytime we can be in nature, it feeds our soul. It literally, revitalizes us. It calms us. It's soothing. It's grounding. It's all of these things. So whenever you can, get outside in the rain, in the snow, in the wind, the lightning.
Yeah, not like I got into my pool
sun.
That was probably 65 degrees the day that we did our year
ahead spread. You said you jumped in.
Every year around the New Year's time, I get into a body of water, and it's always freezing because it's January here. But I feel like it's reinvigorating. For me, it's like, that's what I do.
It's the plunge. It's that polar plunge.
Polar bear plunge. Polar bear plunge. That's what we used to call it. So I'm a water sign. That's my cleansing for the year. That's like one of the things that I just do. And I stay in for as long as I can. I don't want to get hypothermia, of course. Like I said, I'm mostly smart about not putting myself in danger while doing things that make me feel well. Yeah. And water is one of them.
You do the same, witches.
Yes. And we will see you
soon.
Okay, we do have the full moon thing posted, so we're keeping that date, which is like the 23rd of this month. So we'll be doing every new moon and full moon for this year coming and making sure that we have information on it for you guys.
We'll also be doing holidays.
And doing holidays. So those are our for sure plans right now, but we will keep letting you know as we're uncovering our new adventure for this year. And we would love to know your new adventures if you want to share them with us. So, all right, we will see you guys next week, I'm sure.
23rd.
That's in 2 weeks. So we're going to do a live every week. We just don't know what next week is. Hilarious. I love it for all of us. Okay, we'll keep you surprised like we're surprised.
All right.
Have a wonderful night, you guys.
Bye.
Bye.